Welcome back to my YouTube channel. That slammed a little bit louder than I thought. This week's video, I'm going to be working on something a little bit smaller than usual. I am no stranger to multitasking, and I actually quite like working on more than one piece at the same time. I've actually got a couple of pieces here that you can see are midway through certain things. This piece will probably be on my YouTube channel next. I've also got a piece behind the camera, and there's some smaller items on my workbench, but that's not going to stop me from starting a new project for the YouTube channel today. And it's this piece that I'm leaning on here. It's actually a very plain and boring storage box that my mum brought home from a charity shop. She was quite triumphant and said, it's made out of wood, do something with it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So as you can see, this is the box in question. Pretty boring, or is it a blank canvas? That's how I like to look at it. It's not boring, it's a blank canvas. It's made out of pine, there's some knots in it, it's a little bit grubby on the top. It's very plain, even on the interior, very, very plain. But like I say, blank canvas, we can do anything with it we like. And who doesn't need extra storage boxes? Everybody always needs extra storage boxes, and there's absolutely no reason that they have to look like this. They can definitely look a little bit prettier. So whether you're working on something small like this or a huge wardrobe, your prep work's always going to be pretty much the same. So the first thing that I always do is make sure there's no loose debris inside the box or the piece of furniture. Give it a vacuum if it's very dusty or dirty, and then always start with Dixie Belle's White Lightning Cleaner. This is a degreasing, and nearly knocked myself out with it, a degreasing and a deglossing cleaner. So usually all you need to do is give it a clean with this and a rinse. For extra shiny glossy surfaces, you may need to give it a scuff sand or possibly use Dixie Belle's Bone Inlay, but most times this is all you need. Even if your piece looks clean, it probably isn't. There could be something on the surface, because even things like cleaning products can leave behind chemicals and essential oils, which are all going to cause problems with your paint gripping on to the surface. Hello. So Dixie Belle's White Lightning Cleaner is a rinseable cleaner, which means once you've cleaned it with your White Lightning, you just need to wipe it off and rinse it. So I just use another clean rag or a microfiber cloth. This has just been ran under a nice warm tap, and then I'm just going to wipe it off. Nothing dramatic. You don't need to drag it outside and hose it down. You just need to give it a wipe down with clean warm water. So if you've ever cleaned a piece of furniture and your rag looks something like this, no matter how many times you've cleaned your furniture, you're still getting dirty marks lifting off your furniture. That actually isn't dirt. That's an indication that your piece is going to have issues with bleed through. Now, I know pine is notoriously bad for having bleed through problems, so I will be priming this box. Even though it's just a storage box, I don't want any discoloration in the paint. So I'm going to be using Dixie Belle's Bone Inlay for this to ensure that I don't get these kinds of stains leaching through into my paintwork. So I'm using Dixie Belle's Bone Inlay primer, which is a 2-in-1 primer. So it's an adhesion primer and a stain blocking primer in one. You can use it for either or both of those concerns. It's a water-based primer, and it comes in 3 colours: white, grey and clear. All you need to do is apply 2 coats of this, leave it 24 hours for it to dry before painting. Moving on to the painting, I'm going to be using Dixie Belle's Chalk Mineral Paint, and I'm actually going to use a custom colour. So I'm going to mix 3 shades of pink together to create a brand new colour. So I've just mixed this live on YouTube. You can watch the replay to the live if you want to. It's here on YouTube, and it goes into more detail about paint mixing and stuff like that. But basically, this recipe is a custom colour that was invented by my good friend and creative genius, Tracy from Tracy's Fancy. She calls it cotton candy, and I can see why. It's a really fun, playful colour. I absolutely love this pink. When I saw her paint in it, I knew I needed to try it out. So eventually we've got round to doing it. If you want to know the colour recipe for it without watching the live, I will also post that in the description below. And yeah, now we just need to paint our box with it. So I'm just going to start out by spritzing my brush really lightly with water, only a couple of spritzes. This is a Dixie Belle synthetic brush. It's an oval small, don't need anything too huge because I'm only doing this little box. And not only does a little bit of water on your bristles help the paint glide on nice and smoothly, it also makes cleaning your brushes much easier at the end. Now you can spray your piece of furniture as well, but I'm not going to on this one because I've already done it to my brush. A light mist of water is all you need if you are going to do that. And then I'm just going to start painting. This is such a fun colour. It's going to look so cool. I really like this shade. Tracy actually painted her dining chairs in this shade. Like, what an amazing colour to paint dining chairs in. She's actually done an entire blog on it on her website if you wanted to go and have a look at them. They look absolutely amazing. They look so cool. It is a very funky, bubblegummy, cotton candy pink. But it's not too like, I don't like baby pinks. I don't like them when they're too sickly. This is just fun enough without being sickly. Obviously there's a little bit of texture on the surface of this where there's a few imperfections in the wood. I'm just gonna kind of stamp my bristles into those so the paint goes into them. If you wanted a perfect finish, you could use wood filler or Dixie mud to fill those imperfections in before you started painting and priming, but I'm not going to on this one. I don't mind a few imperfections. I kind of like it. It adds a little bit of character to the piece. If you are using Dixie Belle paint as well and you feel like the paint is dragging a little bit on the surface, just add a light spritz of water as you go in. Dixie Belle paint reacts really well with water. I prefer to just spray the surface as opposed to actually mixing my paint with water, but you can do that if you wanted to. But the really good thing about Dixie Belle paint is that it is very highly pigmented, so it will take water adding to it without compromising the coverage. I know I said I wasn't going to add water directly to the surface of my piece, but sometimes you think it's going to go one way and then it doesn't. So I do always keep a mister bottle at hand with water in, because chalk mineral paint does work very well with water if you need it. So that's the first coat done. I've still got a very large amount of paint left. I definitely mixed too much, but we can decant it, put it in an airtight container and save it for another project. But I'm going to leave this first coat to dry and then come back in a short while, do a second coat. If you're going to come back and do a second coat to your piece shortly and you'll be using the same colour, you don't want to wash your brushes out every time. So I just get a bag. You can use like a kitchen freezer bag, Ziploc bag, whatever. This is actually a bag that rags came in, and I keep all of old plastic bags just to reuse. Just pop it in, keep it airtight. If you're in a warm, humid area, you can put it in the fridge. I'm in the UK, absolutely no need to do that. Just make sure there's no air in it. Put a little elastic band, hair bubble around the end to keep it airtight, and your brush will be good to go next time you want to do a second coat of paint. Of course, I forgot to paint the interior along with my first coat of paint, so I did that. By that time, the exterior was dry, and then I applied a second coat to the exterior. Moving on to the rest of the box, I'm going to start out by drawing a chalk template to find the centre of the box and create a kind of grid. So I'm going to use my favourite stencil, or one of my favourite stencils. There are a few, and this is one of them. It's called Bone Inlay, and it is basically lots and lots of different shapes and patterns that you can cut up, or you can keep in one large piece if you prefer. I've cut mine up because I just find it easy to use that way, and it just allows you to create a design for whatever shape and size piece of furniture that you have. So I usually start out by adding a centre piece like this one, and then I do around the edges with a border, and then I just basically fill in the rest of the space with whatever pieces I can get to fit. So because I've sliced my stencil down into individual pieces, sometimes when I'm stenciling, my brush goes over the edge here, and obviously I don't want white paint here. So all you need to do is get a very small brush, go back in with your background colour, and just use it as an eraser, and just paint over any mistakes that you might have made with the white paint. And then when you're happy with your design, you can just simply get a rag, a little bit of water on it, and remove the chalk guidelines. I'm going to finish this piece off with clear wax, and I got a comment on one of my videos the other day saying, your wax just seems to glide on, how do I do it? So I like to warm my wax up before I apply it with a hairdryer. It makes the wax super soft and goes on like butter. I also like to apply my wax with a sponge because I just find it gives a really nice, thin, even application, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to put too much product on the surface because it's going to be really sticky and tacky. And then once you've applied your wax, you need to buff the excess off. Just give it a rub with a lint-free rag until you don't feel any kind of sticky or tackiness left on the surface. Here's a few close-ups of the finished project with that gorgeous custom colour from Tracy. Thank you, Tracy, for the colour recipe. I absolutely love it. As always, thank you for watching the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!